Rashida Strober here. The world's first and only dark-skinned activist is in the building. I hope you guys are having a phenomenal morning. I'm here driving, but I have to come on here and talk about this because I wanted to make a video about it. It's just everything is about time. You know how you get so busy and you don't have time to do stuff, and that's really what it is. But I'm glad I got this little bit of opportunity to come on here and talk to you guys this morning. For those of you that do not know, I am Rashida Strober, the world's first and only dark-skinned activist. And what that means is that I'm the first person in recorded history to start a movement to fight to end what some people call colorism, but I call it darkism. And I started this movement in the year 1998 and called it dark-skinned activism. I brought the movement to YouTube with the first colorism channel in 2010. I went viral in 2015 for calling out Kendrick Lamar's darkism, and after that everybody started copying me. Why? Because I was made Donkey of the Day by Charlemagne and the Breakfast Club after I called out Kendrick Lamar, and this thing went viral to millions of people around the internet, and people started to understand and realize what I do in regards to fighting against colorism and calling myself the dark-skinned activist and being an activist, the first activist to fight against colorism and darkism. And people clown me, you know, they sent me death threats and they talked all kinds of mess about me, but all these people started copying me. And every single person that you see on the internet today that's talking about colorism, light skin and dark skin, darkism, it all started with me. They all stole from me. And they won't admit it, but I'm the reason anybody on social media, reality TV, talks about light skin, dark skin, and colorism. The world's first and only dark skin activist. Google me. You can go to my website, which is darkskinactivist.com. Once again, that is darkskinactivist.com. Download a free ebook copy of my book entitled Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. You can also, I have other books that I've written. A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge. I wrote the book version and the play version. Token Dark Girl, the It Dark Girl of the Moment. That's another one of my books. How to Be the Hottest Dark-Skinned Chick on the Planet is another one of my books. Yeah, so you can go read my books. Also, I'm always accepting donations because I'm fundraising for the Dark Skin Activist Tour. I was able to do one performance this year at the Atlanta Black Theater Festival. Shout out to the Atlanta Black Theater Festival back in September. So I'm always fundraising. So my Cash App is, all that stuff is in the description to this live, but it is $RASHIDA'S. All right, so I hope I don't lose my internet here, y'all, because I really want to get this out. So a lot of y'all that watch me, y'all know I watch Atlanta Street Interviews, and Atlanta Street Interviews is a channel about homeless people, mainly homeless black people in Atlanta. And I have been watching Atlanta Street Interviews really since its inception. The reason I watch Atlanta Street Interviews is because I myself used to be homeless and I like to help people. I've said this before, I'm gonna say it again. Marcus took his blueprint and basically copied what the other homeless channels were already doing. And I had been already watching those channels. And he just took the blueprint and started doing the homeless interviews in Atlanta. Okay. So there's a young man on there, I believe he's 30 years old, dark skin, and he was speaking on a past interviewee named Ruby, that he said she took a knife and stabbed him. He came on and he told his story. I believe his name is Monquel, and I actually donated to Monquel. I feel sorry for him. I feel bad that he got stabbed. It's wrong. You know, I don't know the circumstances around it except for what he said, but I mean, he did. Y'all can go watch the interview. Go watch the interview. Y'all gonna see what he have to say about it. He talked about Ruby and what she did. Like I said, Ruby is a past interviewee. And he was at one time dating her, and he came on and he told his story. Okay. I do like to donate to people, you know, occasionally on homeless channels, whether it be Marcus's Atlanta Street Interviews or whether it be the white man, the white guy, I cannot think of his name, but there's a white guy that's had a homeless channel for a very long time, way longer than Marcus. I'm just saying, I'm telling the truth here. because I just believe that people need to give others credit that came before them, that, you know, allow them to do what they do. Anyway, so you know, I like to donate. I've donated to the homeless white people on the homeless white guys channel before. It's not about, to me, it's really not about the person that's interviewing. It's really not. It's more so about the person that's homeless, because I know what it feels like to be homeless. I know what it feels like to not have nowhere to stay, not have nowhere to go. I know. And so I'm very empathetic to people, and I will listen to their stories. So occasionally I'll donate. Now, some of the people that's been on that channel, they done lied in the past. They done lied about their situation, making up shit just to get donations. And I don't like that, because you're making a mockery of what homeless people go through. And when I was homeless back in the 90s, there was no YouTube and nowhere to come on and tell your story, etc. So I just feel like it's a slap in the face if you coming on there making up stuff. And some of the interviews have known to be liars. They have been found out to be liars later on. But I said to myself, if these people coming on here making up stuff, lying, God got to deal with them. And people donate to them out the kindness of their heart, God got to deal with them on that. It is what it is. Anyway, so this young man that I'm referring to right now, he's dark skinned, he's homeless, and to me, I mean, he has a lot of vulnerabilities. He's a part of a vulnerable population. And I just feel like sometimes we don't have enough compassion or realization that men have feelings. We always acknowledge the fact that women and children need help and have feelings. But I think people should understand that men are human beings too, and they have feelings. Yes, we have different expectations for a man in terms of providing, but I'm talking about just on a basic human level, men have feelings. And so I feel that this guy, and the way that he comes across, he seems to be like he's telling the truth. To me, he seems truthful. Now, again, if these people coming on here not being honest, they got to deal with God on that. I'm not the judge. But from what I've listened to him and heard him, y'all, he seems to be credible and coming across as truthful and sincere and authentic. It's like he really have gone through some stuff. And I could just kind of like tell, because I have been through homelessness myself. So I know how it feels. I understand how it feels. So I could just kind of like feel a person's vibe of truth and sincerity that's homeless and really going through something. I could like feel it. I could feel if they're being honest and sincere. And I could feel that from him. And again, I think this man is vulnerable. He came on, he told his story. Of course, there are going to be people that are going to listen and reach out. But I'm going to say you have to be careful when you are, and being a person that's been on YouTube for a long time, I've had all kinds of people reach out to me, y'all. So I've been in this game a while. I know what I'm talking about. You really have to be careful about who you interact with, because some of these people, unfortunately, they're not wrapped too tight. Okay? So one of the people that apparently reached out after the interview that he did, and I think his name is Monquel. He's 30 years old. He's one of the most recent interviews on Atlanta Street Interviews. Y'all can go there and y'all can watch. I think there's probably about 4 videos of him now with his interviews on there now. 3 or 4. So as a result of his initial interview speaking about his situation with Ruby, several people reached out apparently, and one was interviewed by Atlanta Street Interviews. A light-skinned woman. She said she was, I believe, 52. And the interview was very weird. To me, it was weird. Okay? I'm not saying that the interview was weird because she's light-skinned. Okay? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the interview was weird because it was weird. Some of the things that she was doing in the interview. And Marcus is always, to me, asking questions that I don't think should be necessarily asked regarding these interviews, but I can't tell him how to run his channel. That is just my opinion. I don't always agree with the questions that he asks, but this interviewee came across very strange and weird. And she was saying that she wanted to help the young man, Marquel, I think he's 30. after watching his interview, she wanted to help him. So Marcus filmed himself taking Donquel down to wherever this lady lives. And, you know, in the beginning, one of the videos showing Marcus taking him down there, getting ready, Donquel was very hopeful. He was very happy. He was like, you know, of the mindset that maybe I'm gonna get my life together. Maybe this will be good. He was very positive about going down to this person's home. But long story short, and y'all can go watch the video for yourselves, it went south when he got there. And I don't think he was there more than 24 hours when he ended up leaving. And Marcus came back and picked him up. I think Marcus came back and picked him up. But anyway, the bottom line is, I think it was less than 24 hours he ended up leaving this woman's house. So it went south. There was some accusations made afterwards. One of the accusations that she made, she claimed that he stole her wallet. But then she said he found her wallet. So it was like very weird. And my whole take on this, I don't know this lady. I can't judge her. I don't know her, but I just think that the dark-skinned young man is vulnerable. And I think that there is the possibility of exploitation. And I think that he has to be careful and not just jump up and go to someone's house that's offering it to you as a result of the interview. If anything, maybe they should help through an organization. Or maybe if you really want to help, if you got enough money to put up the money, because me personally, I would not let somebody come and live in my house. And I told y'all I've donated to a lot of the homeless people I've seen on YouTube. But I'm not going to invite them to come and live with me. If I had the bread, I would get them a house. I would say, let me just go buy a house, sign it over in your name. That's what I would do. I'm not finna let nobody come and live in the same household that I don't know you. I mean, there's nothing wrong with networking with people and meeting up at a restaurant and sitting down and talk someplace in public and getting to know a person. But I'm not going to allow somebody to just come to my house. So I think that the interviewees in general have to be leery of that. If someone is saying, come to my house, maybe that person can redirect and just give donations. Or like I said, give donations to an organization. Or if you got the money, go pay up a person's rent. Or go put down a down payment on a house for them to stay, so that they can have their own place, their own space, and be on their own. That's the legitimate way to do it. To me, that's the legitimate, sensical way to do it, rather than saying, I saw you on YouTube, come to my house. And I've had people do that to me. They've seen me and they say, Rashida, you in the city, come. And I've actually met a lot of my fans, and I've, you know, I'm not saying that everybody is bad. I'm not saying that, but I just feel like with the homeless people, there's a huge possibility for exploitation. And I don't want to see these people that are already going through hell be exploited even further. And if you are sincere about it, if you really want to help them, you could send them a cash app. Or if you got the bread like that and the contacts like that, get them their own house. Get them their own apartment. I've actually done that myself for a person that needed a place to stay. I paid up their rent for about somewhere around 3 months. Helped them to get the apartment so that they could have their own space. I've done that for a person that was in need of basically they was homeless. I mean, if you ain't got your own place, you're homeless. So I speak from experience, because I think that person needs to have their own space to heal, to get acclimated to, you know, stabilization, without all the extra added expectations. Moving into somebody's house, and I know because I done lived with people when I was homeless and they tried to take advantage of me. They have all kinds of expectations of you. You know, they're not giving you room to breathe. And I'm the type of person, I step back and like to give people room to breathe. And I'm not going to be on here long, y'all, because I got some calls coming through. But I just wanted to come on here and say that. Just be careful, homeless people. from a former homeless person that was exploited by others. I want y'all to be careful and not just go stay at somebody's house. Okay? Rashida Strober, the world's first and only dark-skinned activist. I wish Marquel and all the other homeless people all the blessings in the world to get off the streets. And my website, once again, is darkskinactivist.com, darkskinactivist.com. You guys can go to my website and download a free ebook copy of my book. You can also make donations. My Cash App is $RASHIDA'Lala, $RASHIDA'Lala. My GoFundMe, you can find it by Googling Rashida Strober GoFundMe, and you can find my GoFundMe, my Cash App, my PayPal, all in the description to this live. Or you can go to my website, darkskinactivist.com, darkskinactivist.com. Y'all have a blessed day. The world's first and only dark skin activist. I'll talk to you guys again soon.